Inside medieval Europe's most horrifying massacre, the slaughter of Béziers's Prime was a human colony unlike any other in the galaxy. From orbit, it looked like a medieval city frozen in time. Cobblestone streets twisted between towers and houses with pointed roofs. Marketplaces bustled with people trading goods, children ran through narrow alleys, and the air was filled with the scents of fresh bread, spices, and the faint tang of fuel from the hidden factories beneath the city. Above the city, sleek human ships hovered silently, their engines hidden by cloaking fields. From the surface, however, it seemed that time had barely moved past the Middle Ages. The historian Leora Dene walked slowly through the central square, her datapad in hand. She paused to admire the clock tower, its hands frozen in an eternal moment as if time itself were a witness to the city's story. Humans really like to remember their past, she murmured, jotting down observations. Leora was one of the few who documented history across the colonies. Her recordings were precise, but she also had a deep appreciation for the beauty in human traditions. Nearby, in the engineering district, Cale Ryden worked tirelessly in his workshop. His hands were covered in grease, and his eyes glimmered with excitement as he adjusted a small energy shield generator. Cale was young, brilliant, and stubborn. He loved to take old designs and improve them with new technology. Today, he was testing a prototype for a new defensive device, one that could protect entire streets from alien attacks. Even though the city had been peaceful for decades, Cale felt an unease he could not shake. At the same time, Commander Ilara Voss walked along the city's ramparts. Her sharp eyes scanned the horizon for any unusual activity. She had led Béziers Prime's defense forces for nearly 20 years. Her hair, streaked with silver, caught the sunlight as she adjusted her cloak. "No signs yet," she muttered, though her instincts told her something was coming. She knew the humans had enemies. The galaxy was full of them, and each enemy underestimated human resilience. That was both their mistake and their danger. That morning, the markets were alive with activity. Traders shouted over each other, trying to sell wares from fresh fruits to cloaked energy devices. Children chased holographic projections that hovered in the air, giggling as they darted between the crowds. The sun shone warmly, and for a moment it seemed that Béziers Prime could remain safe forever. But the first sign of trouble came quietly. A small drone, one of the city's early warning systems, floated silently over the eastern wall. It hovered, analyzing the clouds above the horizon. Cale noticed its unusual behavior immediately. "That's not normal," he said, turning to one of his assistants. "Check the orbital sensors. Something's coming." In the command hall, Commander Voss received the report. Her eyes narrowed as she studied the readings. Hundreds of ships were appearing beyond the outer perimeter, far above the normal patrol zones. They were sleek, metallic, and silent. These were not scouts. These were warships. The fleet moved in perfect formation, glinting in the sunlight as it approached Béziers Prime. The news spread quickly. Citizens gathered in squares, whispering nervously. Merchants abandoned their stalls, children clung to parents, and the air became thick with tension. The historian, Leora, watched the unfolding scene with a mixture of fear and fascination. This would be a moment recorded in history. Humans always remembered these moments, not just for the pain, but for the courage it inspired. Commander Voss called an emergency meeting. Cale, Leora, and several other leaders crowded around a holographic map. The map projected the incoming fleet in real time, showing the path the ships would take. "They are expecting an easy victory," Voss said, her voice steady. "They think we are weak. They think we cannot defend ourselves. They are wrong." Cale's mind raced. "We cannot match their firepower directly," he said. "We need traps, we need strategy, and we need civilians to help. This city is more than walls and streets. It's a network of tunnels, hidden chambers, and forgotten defense mechanisms. We can use every advantage we have." The historian, Leora, looked up from her notes. "You mean we can turn history into a weapon?" she asked quietly. Her eyes reflected both awe and fear. "Yes," Voss replied. "We use everything human ingenuity has given us. We adapt, we resist, and we fight back. That is what humans do." As the sun dipped lower in the sky, the first alien ships reached orbit. They hovered above the city like silent predators, their metal hulls glinting with menace. Citizens watched from below, fear gripping their hearts. Some wept, some prayed, but many, inspired by the leader's calm, began to take action. Farmers carried tools and improvised weapons. Engineers hurried to prepare energy barriers. Children helped move supplies into underground shelters. Béziers Prime became a hive of activity and tension, a living organism readying itself for survival. In the underground tunnels, Kale and his team worked tirelessly. He activated energy barriers, reinforced doors, and prepared makeshift weapons. Each corridor was mapped to provide a tactical advantage. He could hear the hum of machinery and the occasional shout of a worker coordinating a defense. "This city will not fall easily," Kale said to himself, tightening a shield generator. Meanwhile, Leora documented everything. Her datapad recorded not only the positions of forces and the design of the city, but also the spirit of the people. Every act of courage, every quiet determination, every small innovation, she captured it all. She understood that history was not just about dates and names, but about moments of resilience. The first attack came at dusk. Alien dropships descended over the walls, deploying scouts in sleek, armored suits. They moved quickly, expecting little resistance, but the city was ready. Streets suddenly glowed with energy barriers, traps triggered, and the scouts found themselves facing unexpected resistance. Farmers with repurposed tools and engineers with clever inventions slowed the enemy advance. Commander Voss led a small team on the ramparts directing defensive fire. Her voice was calm but commanding. "Hold your positions. Remember, we are humans. We survive." She fired her plasma rifle at an advancing scout, hitting with precise efficiency. Around her, defenders fought with determination, their fear turned into focus. Kale and his team ambushed alien squads in the narrow alleys. Using the city's medieval layout to their advantage, they forced the enemies into traps. Bridges collapsed, gates sealed, and secret energy traps activated. The aliens were shocked by the humans' unpredictability. They had expected surrender. They found resistance. Civilians played an essential role. Children acted as messengers, running through tunnels to relay information. Merchants supplied improvised explosives and medical aid. Old scholars and retired soldiers joined the defense, guiding citizens and sharing their knowledge of the city's hidden layouts. Humanity in all its forms united. The alien commander in orbit watched with growing frustration. Why are they resisting so fiercely? They should have surrendered. The ships fired, but Béziers Prime's defenses absorbed the initial attacks. Energy barriers flashed and crackled, forcing the aliens to rethink their approach. Night fell, but the city remained alive with action. Fires burned, sirens wailed, and humans moved through the darkness with purpose. Commander Voss surveyed the battlefield from her command post. She knew this was only the beginning. The aliens would not stop, but neither would the humans. Kale, exhausted but focused, checked the final energy traps in the main square. He looked around at the civilians who had joined him. Farmers, engineers, children, all were prepared to fight to survive and to protect their home. "This is what it means to be human," he said quietly. "We do not give up. We do not surrender. We fight." In the tunnels below, Leora recorded her final notes for the night. She wrote not only of the battle but of the courage she saw in every person. The historian understood that Béziers Prime was not just a city, it was a testament to humanity itself. Even if the aliens destroyed the walls above, the human spirit would endure. As the night stretched on, alien forces regrouped above the city, planning their next strike. But Béziers Prime was no longer just a target. It had become a symbol of human resilience, ingenuity, and unity. And somewhere in the shadows, Commander Voss, Kale, and the citizens prepared for the challenges ahead, ready to show the galaxy that humans, even in a medieval city on a distant planet, were never to be underestimated. The morning sun rose over Béziers Prime, painting the city, a mix of golden light and smoke-filled gray. Fires still burned in several districts, but the city's defenders had regrouped overnight. Commander Alara Voss moved through the streets, inspecting barricades and rallying civilians. Her eyes scanned every corner, every alley, every tower. She could feel the tension in the air, but she also sensed the determination of her people. "This city will not fall," she told Kale Ryden as he adjusted an energy shield generator near the main gate. "We've survived their first wave. We will survive the next, and we will strike back." Kale nodded, sweat streaking his face. "They think we are weak. They think we will surrender. They don't understand humans." His words carried more than pride, they carried certainty. Humans could endure, adapt, and surprise. From the command hub, Leora Dene watched the alien fleet through the city's sensors. Her datapad displayed the enemy formations, their movements precise and calculated. "They are preparing something," she noted, her voice quiet but tense. "They've learned from their last mistakes, but humans are unpredictable. That may be their downfall." The aliens had regrouped in orbit and launched a second, larger assault. Dropships descended in formation, armored soldiers with advanced weaponry ready to strike at the heart of the city. The initial attacks had failed to break the human defenses, and now the aliens were determined to crush Béziers Prime. But the humans were ready. Commander Voss signaled the defenders. Energy barriers flared to life along key streets. Hidden turrets and traps activated, surprising the advancing soldiers. Kale and Myra moved with precision, placing explosive charges and redirecting energy flows to create choke points. Civilians, now fully integrated into the defense, carried supplies, guided troops, and acted as messengers between units. The first clash of the day was violent. Alien soldiers rushed forward, expecting minimal resistance. They were met with a sudden hail of fire from energy turrets, collapsing barricades, and cleverly timed explosions. Streets became deadly corridors, forcing the aliens to slow down. For every advance they made, humans had already prepared a countermeasure. In one narrow alley, Kale faced a squad of alien soldiers. Using a combination of grappling hooks and a compact energy pulse rifle, he disabled their weapons and forced them into a dead end. There, hidden spikes and an electrified floor trap immobilized the remaining troops. Kale's team moved quickly, ensuring no harm came to nearby civilians. Above, Commander Voss directed the city's defense from the central rampart. She moved with calm efficiency, signaling reinforcements, redistributing energy to shields, and coordinating counterattacks. Every move was precise, every command deliberate. "Do not panic, focus on their weaknesses. They cannot predict human creativity," she ordered. Meanwhile, Leora recorded every action. She documented not only the strategies and the battles, but the human spirit. The courage of children carrying medkits, the bravery of farmers wielding repurposed tools, and the ingenuity of engineers turning simple devices into deadly weapons. Every detail became a testament to human resilience. As the battle raged, Kale led a strike team toward the alien command hub, a massive armored ship hovering over the city. This was the key to the enemy's coordination. If the humans could disrupt it, they could gain the upper hand. Using a network of tunnels and hidden platforms, Kale's team advanced undetected. Myra carried an energy disruptor, designed to disable alien technology temporarily. Every step was tense, every corner a potential trap. At the same time, Commander Voss orchestrated a diversion. Human forces engaged alien squads in the streets, drawing attention away from Kale's team. Barricades were moved, energy shields shifted, and decoy drones activated. The aliens were forced to split their attention, their coordination faltering under the unexpected human tactics. Kale's team reached the base of the alien command hub. The ship's energy field was intense, but with careful calculations and timing, they bypassed the outer defenses. Myra deployed the energy disruptor, sending a pulse through the alien systems. Lights flickered, weapons powered down, and communications were cut. The hub was temporarily disabled. From above, Commander Voss noticed the change immediately. "They've lost coordination," she said. "Now is our moment." She signaled human forces across the city to push forward. Civilians, engineers, and soldiers moved in unison, taking advantage of the confusion among the aliens. The aliens, stunned by the sudden disruption, struggled to regain control. Their advanced technology could not predict human unpredictability. Soldiers became disoriented, dropships hesitated, and automated systems malfunctioned. Human ingenuity had turned the tide. In the streets, fierce battles continued. Kale and Myra moved strategically, ensuring civilians were safe while taking out key alien units. Energy barriers collapsed under heavy fire, but fallback positions and clever rerouting allowed the humans to maintain control. Every citizen played a role. Messengers relayed critical information, engineers repaired barriers under fire, and children guided wounded individuals to safety. The climax of the battle approached when the alien commander attempted a direct strike on the city's central plaza. Massive war machines descended, their weapons primed to annihilate everything in their path. But Commander Voss anticipated this. Human forces had prepared the plaza with traps, energy barriers, and hidden turrets. The war machines advanced, only to be funneled into kill zones where every attack was countered. Explosions and flashes of energy lit the sky as the humans executed their plan flawlessly. Kale, observing the battle from a nearby tower, activated a final device, a gravity disruptor that created temporary localized fields, throwing the alien war machines off balance. They toppled into the streets, immobilized and vulnerable. Myra guided the civilians to safety, while Kale neutralized the remaining threats. By late afternoon, the city had regained control of most districts. Alien forces, battered and demoralized, retreated to regroup in orbit. Béziers Prime had survived the fiercest wave yet, and the humans were poised to exploit their advantage. In the aftermath, the city's defenders began repairs, tended to the wounded, and assessed their resources. Commander Voss convened her council. "This was not luck," she said. "This was human skill, courage, and unity. We have shown that even against a superior force, we can prevail. We will prepare for the next wave, stronger than ever." Kale and Myra surveyed the streets. Buildings were damaged, fires smoldered, but the human spirit remained unbroken. "We've won this battle," Kale said quietly, "but the war isn't over. We need to be ready for what comes next." Leora recorded her observations with a sense of awe. Humans had faced annihilation and turned it into triumph. Every act of courage, every display of ingenuity became a symbol of humanity's enduring spirit. Béziers Prime had survived not because of brute strength, but because humans had relied on their greatest weapon, their minds, their courage, and their unity. As night fell, the city rested, but only briefly. Fires were extinguished, barricades repaired, and soldiers remained vigilant. The alien fleet hovered above, nursing wounds and planning the next assault. But for the citizens of Béziers Prime, hope had returned. They had proven that humanity, even when cornered, could adapt, fight, and survive. And somewhere in the alien command hub, the realization sank in. Humans were not weak, humans were not predictable, and humans could never be underestimated. Béziers Prime had turned the tide, and the galaxy would soon take notice. The first light of dawn revealed Béziers Prime scarred but unbroken. Buildings that had been damaged in the previous battles now bore makeshift repairs. Fires had been extinguished, rubble cleared, and streets reinforced with barricades and energy shields. The air smelled of smoke, metal, and determination. Commander Ilara Voss walked through the central plaza, her boots clicking against the cobblestones, every step a symbol of resilience. "Today, we finish this," she said quietly, though those nearby heard her resolve. Around her, soldiers and civilians prepared for what they all knew would be the final confrontation. Cale Ryden adjusted the energy shields that lined the streets, his hands steady despite exhaustion. Myra moved alongside him, carrying crates of ammunition and supplies. Both young engineers had been pivotal in the city's survival, turning simple designs into effective weapons that had confounded the aliens again and again. Leora Dene moved through the crowd, recording every detail. The historian's datapad was full of stories, acts of bravery, ingenuity, and unity. She noted the calm determination on the faces of farmers, merchants, and children. Béziers Prime was not only surviving, it was thriving under pressure, a testament to what humans could achieve when united. The alien fleet loomed above, massive warships casting shadows across the city. This time, they were different. They had learned from previous defeats and were determined to crush humanity once and for all. Dropships descended, armored soldiers advanced, and energy beams fired, scorching the streets. But Béziers Prime was ready. Commander Voss signaled the start of the human counterattack. Hidden energy turrets flared to life, targeting the alien dropships with precision. Barricades shifted mechanically, guiding invaders into deadly corridors. Small squads of engineers, armed civilians, and soldiers moved strategically, their actions coordinated like a single organism. Kale led a strike team toward the alien command hub. This time, they were not just sabotaging, they were planning a full-scale assault. Using grappling hooks, hover platforms, and energy disruptors, they navigated the city's rooftops, dodging enemy fire and activating traps below to slow alien reinforcements. Myra's energy disruptor jammed the alien communication systems, creating chaos among their troops. In the streets, civilians played crucial roles. Children delivered messages across battle lines, farmers wielded improvised weapons with deadly accuracy, and engineers repaired defenses in real time. The synergy of every human in the city created a network that was both unpredictable and unstoppable. The aliens, growing frustrated, deployed their heaviest units, massive war machines equipped with energy cannons designed to level entire districts. Commander Voss studied their movements carefully. "They rely on brute strength," she said. "We rely on brains, unity, and courage. That is why they will fail." Kale and his team reached the alien command hub. Using a combination of stealth and clever technology, they infiltrated the structure. Energy disruptors, EMP pulses, and hacked alien devices disabled the hub's weapons and communications. The aliens above were thrown into disarray. Without coordination, their forces became vulnerable. From the central plaza, Commander Voss led a coordinated strike. Human forces attacked with precision, exploiting every weakness exposed by Kale's team. Energy shields deflected incoming fire, improvised traps caught alien soldiers off guard, and human sharpshooters picked off key targets. Civilians guided the wounded to safety, repaired barricades, and ensured that the momentum of the attack was maintained. The climax of the battle came when the alien flagship attempted a direct assault on the city's central square. Massive cannons fired, tearing through barricades and buildings, but humans had prepared. Kale's team triggered a gravity disruptor, destabilizing the flagship and forcing it to hover uncontrollably above the plaza. Energy nets immobilized its dropships, and precision strikes from human engineers disabled its primary weapons. Commander Voss directed the final phase of the attack. "Push forward, do not let them recover," she shouted. Human forces moved as one, a living wave of strategy, courage, and skill. Every street became a trap, every corner a battlefield where humans held the advantage. The alien commander, realizing the battle was lost, attempted to retreat. But escape routes had been cut off by human ingenuity. Hover platforms, energy barriers, and strategic placements of forces ensured that the aliens could not regroup effectively. One by one, their ships were disabled, their soldiers captured or neutralized. By evening, Béziers Prime stood victorious. Fires burned low, barricades remained strong, and the city's defenders cheered. Commander Voss stood on the central rampart, looking out over the city. Her eyes shone with pride and relief. Humans had faced a force far superior in technology and numbers, yet they had prevailed through courage, ingenuity, and unity. Kale and Myra walked through the streets, helping civilians and repairing critical infrastructure. Children played near the repaired fountains, their laughter a sign that life would continue. Farmers and merchants began cleaning up debris, returning to their normal routines but with a renewed sense of purpose. Leora Dene recorded the aftermath in detail. She wrote of bravery, ingenuity, and the unbreakable spirit of humanity. She captured every story: the child who carried medkits under fire, the farmer who used a simple tool to disable an alien drone, the engineer who improvised a device that turned the tide of the battle. Each act became part of the record, a symbol of what humans could achieve. The alien fleet had been defeated. Their commanders acknowledged defeat, retreating to distant systems. They had underestimated humans, and the lesson was clear. Humanity was not weak, not predictable, and not easily defeated. Béziers Prime had proven that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the greatest threats. In the following days, the city rebuilt. Ruins were repaired, barricades reinforced, and defensive systems improved. Commander Voss and her council worked tirelessly, ensuring the city was prepared for any future threat. Kale and Myra continued developing new technology, inspired by the battle and the resourcefulness of the people. Leora documented every moment, ensuring that the story of human triumph would be remembered for generations. At night, the citizens of Béziers Prime gathered in the central square. Fires burned warmly, music and laughter returned, and the city celebrated its survival. Commander Voss spoke to the crowd. "We have faced impossible odds and prevailed. This city stands because of every person here. Courage, unity, and ingenuity are what make us human. Let this be remembered across the galaxy." The historian, Leora, looked around, her heart full. She realized that Béziers Prime had become more than a city. It had become a symbol of humanity's ability to adapt, survive, and thrive. The story of their triumph would inspire not only their own people, but all human colonies across the stars. As the night stretched on, stars glittered above the city, silent witnesses to the courage below. Commander Voss, Kale, Myra, and the citizens of Béziers Prime looked to the skies, knowing that threats would come again. But they also knew that as long as humanity stood together, no challenge was too great. Béziers Prime had survived. Humanity had triumphed. And the galaxy had learned a simple truth: humans, united and clever, could never be underestimated.